Hey folks, Micah McGee here. As you know, we gathered some wheat. It was a little bit of work gathering that wheat out in that hot sun. We got it thrashed, we got it cleaned, and now we're ready to get it ground. It was a little moist coming out of the field, and I think that's fairly normal, and it has to be dried out before you can grind it. In a wood cook stove you can do that, but you don't want to get it too hot, and that could be an issue. Really didn't have time to stand around and just watch it, so we put it in the dashboard of our van, and the hot sun got it up to about 140, 150 degrees. And so what we did, we just left it there all day. It got dry. Now the way I test it, put it in my mouth, crunch it up. It was not gummy and wet anymore, it was very crunchy. So we're gonna grind this stuff, and we're gonna make biscuits. As you know, I love to eat. Now we have a wood cook stove. I'm gonna be mixing up this flour and making biscuits here in a little bit, but first we gotta get this wheat ground into flour. This is a very good country living grinder that we just purchased. After the pandemic hit, you couldn't hardly find a grinder. They were all bought up, but fortunately, the manufacturer still kept making them. And so we was able to get it. Took a few months to get it in. We bought it online through Plant-Based Pros was the name of the company. And they got it to us eventually. They kept their word, did their end of the deal. So we're gonna get busy grinding this here and see what this flour looks like. This thing turns easy. It's not hard to turn. And as you can see, it is actually grinding fairly well. I've heard a lot of horror stories about buying grain mills that turn very hard and take forever to grind a little bit of wheat flour. This is going good. We got this bowl of it ground. Now what you're going to find out when you grind yours, it definitely has to be sifted. The hulls don't really grind up real fine. And all the old timers sifted their flour. That's just the reason why, is because it doesn't, no matter how fine you grind it, you always have those hulls have to be sifted out. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a cup measurer and we're just going to put it right in a sifter. The way these sifters work, they have a screen in there, and they got these two little beaters that go around in circles, and it forces the fine flour through down into your bowl, and the coarse stuff, whether it be the hull or a little bit of maybe a little chaff that slipped through there or just anything, it sifts it all out. So what you're left with is good fine flour to use in the biscuits. Now what you have left is just perfect little chicken feed. So just pour that in there and you'll give that to the chickens later. All right, we have made it to the kitchen. Welcome to our summer kitchen, where the fire is hot, hearts are warm, and the food is never cold. So anyway, I'm gonna get started making these biscuits. As you know, we just ground this flour just now, finished grinding this flour. We're pretty excited about that. We sifted it, got it all clean. Now, I'm not going to tell you the amounts that I'm putting in. You can go to the descriptions and we'll have one batch recipe for you that you can follow if you'd like to follow it. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your freshly ground flour, you're going to measure out your flour into a bowl. Next, you're going to put in baking powder, baking soda, and salt. That'll be in the description, and a little bit of sugar. We use some natural sugar, and then after you get that done, you're going to cut up some butter, put a stick of butter in the descriptions. May not be a stick because we're doing like a double batch. So we're going to just cut that up in pieces and put this in here and chop it up. Okay, after you get your butter in there, take one of these choppers. I don't know what it's rightly called. You can let me know in the descriptions what you call it. And you're just going to chop all that butter up and mix it all into there until it's fine and until it's evenly mixed through the entire batch. And for the last ingredient, you're going to take buttermilk. These are good old buttermilk biscuits. This buttermilk my wife made out of our own milk from the cow. And you're just gonna add that in there, and you're just gonna fold it together until you get it mixed in all the way. So let's just fold it in here. Okay, you just want to fold this in gently, because if you stir it and beat it real stiffly, it's going to make your biscuits tough. You want them fluffy. And if you'll notice that these things look very fluffy even though it's wet, that buttermilk is what makes it so fluffy, like it's got air in it. So once you get all that mixed together and folded in properly, you're just going to start dropping it in to your pan. These are drop biscuits. These aren't biscuits you press out with a cutter. These are drop biscuits. They're about the easiest biscuits you can make. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this in the pan. This is drop biscuits, as I told you before. Now we're going to let these babies bake 10 minutes on 450 degrees. All right, it's been 10 minutes. Let's see how hot she is. See if they're done. Oh, piping hot. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Woo! All right, I got them a little brown over here, and they're just about right over there. That's kind of, if I would have been paying attention and flipped them around, it would have been perfect all over. But hey, this is kind of like my first time to cook biscuits. But I'm awful excited because I grew the wheat for this. That is awesome. So we'll try these out when they cool off, see how good they are. All right, boys, come in and get it. All right, guys. I got two boys missing. They're out here running around somewhere, and it's raining just like we thought it was going to do. But we're going to try to taste test this stuff anyway. Look at that. That's perfect whole wheat biscuit right there. That's more healthy for you than store-bought flour, because it's still got all the good stuff in it. After that flour sits there for about 24 hours, it loses a lot of nutrients. If you grind your own wheat and bake it that day, you're getting a lot more nutrients in your diet. That is some good eating right there too. It tastes better. That's good. Go down in the description, follow that recipe. If you can get you some fresh wheat, you don't have to go out and gather it yourself. You can buy wheat berries in a bag, 50-pound bags of wheat, grind that up. Now you want to use food grade. Now ours, obviously, we did not spray anything on ours. It was good. But if you go to the store and you buy wheat for feed, it's going to be sprayed over. So you need to buy food quality wheat berries, a good hard wet or a soft white or whatever. Get you a grinder and grind that and bake it the same day you grind it, and you won't never eat no better bread in your life. So we're going to get out of here. We appreciate you following this video. We'll see you on the next video.